Alright, and once more everybody, welcome back to another match of Mechabellum. Play against M232a, I would pronounce this. I'm really not entirely sure. I have quick supply with Sledge and Marksman, and potentially a quad Sledge opener. Let's see what my opponent has. Well, he's taking a very long time to think about it. Okay, it's the Marksman spec with Sledges that I can't break through and Arc Lights that are going to clear all my chaff no matter what I get. And then the Orange Man to kill all of my Sledges and Marksmen. For whatever reason, in the entire 12-hour stream that I did, I got really freaking unlucky with the starts, I feel like. It really felt like every start I was behind. The only even remote way that I can think of twisting this in my favor is not even going for any ground chaff. It's just going to get annihilated by all of these units here. I need some air chaff that only the marksman can attack and that it will waste its entire time on. Maybe this way I can pull it in my favor, but I'm losing some deployments here. Well, no, actually, no, I'm not losing deployments. I'm quick supply. That is my quick supply play. With quick supply, you can get round 1 wasps and still afford whatever your 100 cost unit was. In this case, another marksman, which I honestly don't mind. In any case, if there's anything that's even giving me a chance, it is the wasps here. But it's a very flimsy round 1 strategy. I guess it ends up winning me this. Maybe I made it out to be more dire than I thought. But it is definitely, like, it is super flimsy. We get a level on the Sledges, though. EMP, improved firepower, even smart arcs. Not a bad play, I think. So it's improved firepower control for the both of us. I think, yeah, I put it on these Sledges, so they instantly do 2k damage. They can two-shot the opponent's Sledges. My opponent apparently doesn't like these Sledges existing, so he throws a missile out. But I think I go for some chaff, and that actually means the missile is not hitting them. It is hitting, not hitting the Sledges, it's hitting the fangs. An attack upgrade, Sledges now pushing 2.2k. And he puts the damage on the marksman. And I have no more chaff. Oh wait, I still do. Wasps, baby. Still, he has some fangs here, and those fangs will not super quickly, but they will manage to just push through the wasps a lot more quickly. Which means that this marksman, who's hitting almost 12k damage, is hitting these poor little Sledges that are definitely not suited for it. Late chaff here is ensuring that my opponent wins this side. And it's basically gonna be decided in a marksman off at high noon. Who is gonna win this one? Tower falls for me first. I would have preferred it otherwise. Sledges head to the other tower. And the marksmen are incapable of finishing this. And now the Sledges decide, oh wait, the battle is lost. Let's go back. And don't manage to kill Orange Man. So he's level 4, basically. Make that level 5, question mark? Yes. Round 3, level 5 marksman. Yay. I go for a Rhino drop. I need to do something here. It may not look like it, but I think I'm definitely getting tempoed. Well, not tempoed. I'm getting outplayed. So this marksman is doing just under 20,000 damage, which is insane. What can you realistically put in the way of this marksman? Can you put a fort here? Nope. Can you put a Vulcan here? Yes, but that's because they're Vulcans. Maybe it would have been better to put this on the other side, but it does actually pull some of the late chaff off. The missile here hits the sledges and perfectly deletes a lot of them. The Rhino in the rear is doing all it can. It is starting to get real close to the tower, and there is some of these wasps left. Even without that, I would actually have pushed through. Those storms were doing a lot less than I expected, but it might also be that the Rhino distracted the late chaff. Anyway, let's continue this. That's a lot of cash. That's basically what I'm saying. He goes for the Sabertooths. I can't blame him. He's up against Sledges, and Sabertooths kinda dunk on Sledges. As long as that chaff clear is somewhat in order. I also go for the Sabertooths, but for money. So these Sledges are level 3. They have 10k health. This thing still can kill them almost twice with one shot. But they also do 3.3k damage. They are starting to get into the territory where it's not gonna be much longer, and they will one-shot the Sledges here. Mech Rage, I think, on the Sledges is also worth it now. I'm worried about fire, so I throw some of these crawlers out. Well, about fire and about, just in general, stormcrawlers, you know? I don't like them splashing my fangs here. Wasps are still proving valuable, so they are still in the game. 4 rounds with wasps without committing into too much, but Orange Man is definitely hating them with all of his heart. It's really bad on this side. I have no more chaff, my opponent does, so my saber loses badly to his. And now he has some wasps of his own, and he invested into rage. Fortunately, that Sledgehammer is able to delete Orange Man and get a lot of level progress from that. I think they're gonna level again, yeah. On this side it's not looking all too hot, but I guess these fangs are gonna win it. However, on the other side there really isn't much left. The last marksman dies, and that's just it. Will the missile trigger? These wasps have range. I think it did not trigger. No, they stayed out of range. The fangs die, and my opponent wins another round. So far, round-wise, I think it's 2 for each player. I won 2 rounds, and he also won 2 rounds. Haste, anti-interference, photon even. Both of us go for haste. I guess these Sledges can now also do very good quantities of damage. He goes for repair on the Sabertooth, and that's a 3rd one. I sold the wasps, now they are properly countered. I forced a response out of my opponent, so I think it's time that I invest these 300 supply into something else. What do I invest them into though? Apparently Mustangs. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, you can throw missiles into the middle all you want, but it's not going to do much to the level 2 Sledges now. And definitely not to these level 4 Sledges. That marksman, still level 5, hasn't leveled in a while. Still top damage in the game, probably. Actually, no. This marksman gets outclassed by these sledgehammers, as far as DPS is concerned. I probably should not have sold the wasps. They were still doing something. I think this saber is entirely redundant. Well, is it? There's now something in the front that can do stuff. I get a lock on here, but at the same time the saber is twice the level and it's healing. So it's really not doing much. Instead, the saber proceeds to basically one-shot the tank. I don't have any more chaff clear here. I'm barely pushing through the heal on this. And it's starting to look like it's really dire. Tower timing definitely in my favor here. But unit positioning... Some crawlers are going to eat that missile. And I do take a good amount of damage here. It's now looking a lot more even than just a few moments ago. We have a speed spec. We also have laser sights. I have so many items on Sledges. Might as well continue, right? I'm basically going around like, you get an item, and you get an item, and everybody gets an item. Or however that meme is. Now they also get range. And these are some fairly long range Sledges. Range and EMP. In order to deal with the Sabertooths. This guy has already done over 100k damage. Marksman is actually no longer top damage. It's probably, yeah, it's this guy here. Also at almost 100k damage. So what is LMCV doing? I think he got his upgrades. He still has these wasps. They now have a range item, which makes them have 110 meters. Very good, very good. Sledges have started deleting units. This thing is photon, so it's not gonna heal. The marksman has not yet locked on. I am really being crushed by these level 3 crawlers that are late, but also great. They keep the marksman from doing anything. Meanwhile, my opponent's units kinda just start scaling hard. I get the tower first, which is bad, because he's gonna have a really good tower debuff. There's nothing left to kill this Sabertooth, and it's probably, yeah, it's leveling. I get cleaned up with another not all too big amount of damage, but I was kinda matching him in the early game. Now I'm kinda being outclassed a bit. Okay, he goes for the steel balls. I think I do the same because it's the most amount of money. I sell him and put some of these steel balls on the other side here. Yeah. They are basically my late big chaff. Rhino drop here, but the steel balls protect against that. If there weren't steel balls or anything else here, that Rhino would be getting in, I bet. He also gets EMP on the Stormcallers, okay? That is no doubt to shut off the tech on my Sledges. Meanwhile, I go for range and anti-missile on the Mustangs and drop more Mustangs. They are basically my more expensive chaff now that can do a lot of stuff. He goes and buys out for temp range. Makes sense. I'm definitely running low on health here. And another missile in the middle. I think those are a mistake. Not to mention that they're gonna get intercepted now. So the Rhino got absolutely stomped. There is EMP and a marksman shooting the Saber here. But is it gonna be enough? Missiles are not really landing right now. But the amount of Mustangs has been reduced to nothing, basically, on this side. And there still is these level 3 crawlers that are just the bane of my existence here. Along with everything else. This side is kinda dealt with. Stormcrawlers couldn't even do much damage. And it's starting to be one of those fights. Some level 3 crawlers are going down here. They're getting the tower. And the assassin crawlers give my opponent a pretty big win here. I am definitely